The sun, the beach, the waves, the sand, the restaurants, the nightlife, the family fun center, pleasure pier down at the other end. What could be more fun than a day at the beach? I'll tell you what could be more fun. You get me anywhere near the salt water and I'm going fishing. There's a redfish in our future and I'm glad you're along with us. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Cobia, big one. And a monster. Look at that.
That's a Tawakoni giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Hi everybody and welcome to today's episode. My name is Barry Stokes and I'm out of retirement for the second time this year. And this time we are coming to you from the famous seawall and the front beach at Galveston, Texas. We are right in the middle of the tourist area where everybody comes to have all kinds of fun. Now the wife, who is behind the camera, and me are going down on that beach. We're gonna hang out for a while, maybe have a couple of brewskis, have some lunch across the street. But then if you know me, you know that I have this. This is my brand new Mamba 227 FX Bass Bay fishing boat by the Mamba Boat Company down in Corpus Christi, Texas. We've brought it along and we're going down to a place I haven't been to in years. It's a big complex of bayous and bays and lakes just south of Galveston. It's called Hall's Bayou and Chocolate Bay. It's loaded with speckled trout, flounder, redfish, and today we're going after the wily redfish. While we're out fishing today, we're going to be taking you around your local region for this week's reports from our expert team of insider reporters from lakes, rivers, and bays right where you live. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Right now we're going to take things back to the studio to get things started with your weekend planner. The next time you see me, I'll be in my fishing clothes. We'll be down at Hall's Bayou and Chocolate Bay south of Galveston. Let's go back to the studio and get this party started.
Thanks so much for joining us here on Let's Fish TV. The Salooner tables are predicting good game fish activity on both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins around 12:54 Saturday and 1:33 Sunday afternoon. Evening action will begin around 12:29 on Saturday and 1:08 on Sunday night. Depending on your local area, expect the sun to rise around 7:22 and set around 7:53. This weekend will feature a full moon. Stick around, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way, plus I'll return with the 2020 and 2021 Bassmaster Classic champ Hank Cherry to answer this week's Ask the Pro question.
There he is. That's a bite. There's a good fish. Out on that drop off. Redfish. All right. Gotta start. We'll slip the net under that dude. There we go. Sit right there. Boy, look how deep that fish ate my plastic bait. We got it. Okay, well, we got to start. Anyway, that's just about a, I don't know, 19-inch red or something. That wouldn't be a keeper. Or actually, yeah, that would not be a keeper. That got to be 20 to 28 inches is the slot where you can keep those fish, and that one's going to be under. But it's a start. Welcome to a gorgeous day on the Texas coast. We've got prime conditions today. We've got, it's very warm. Of course, it's been a really hot summer and the water is finally starting to cool down just a little bit along the coast. Water got up to 94, 95 degrees in places here, and it's dropped down into the mid 80s now. So we've had about a 10-degree drop. There's been no rain down here, so the salinity is very high, and the salt water has pushed way further inland than it normally does. We are actually fishing today up a bayou. This one's called Hall's Bayou. It's in a complex of Hall's and Chocolate Bayou, and what it consists of is two pretty big bays, Hall's Lake and Chocolate Bay, that are side by side, and then there's a bunch of little creeks and cuts and drains that come in to these bays, and I'm up one of those right now. And I'm basically fishing just like you would for bass, just going along here and fishing at the visible stuff. Now, I will tell you that I've already fished for a little while this morning, a couple of hours already, and have not done well. I've caught 2 or 3 little rat reds, little small ones. So you can see what I'm doing here. This is just miles of reeds, and it's very tide affected, and I'll explain what effect the tide has in this fishery in a little bit. But we're dropping down towards low tide right now, and I'm having to catch these fish a little different way. Normally, you would be pitching up against these reeds with a spinner bait, a jig, a soft plastic, something like that, but I'm doing something different. I'll explain what I'm doing in a little while. But again, it's a beautiful day. We've got temperatures, I don't know, around 90 degrees today, light wind out of the north actually, low humidity. Got my beautiful Mamba boat out here. Everything's right. Let's see what can happen today. Red fishing down on the Texas Gulf Coast.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Holland Safe Company. Holland is a Texas company. Their safes are designed by a locksmith using thick special steel, and they have their own unique hinge design. You won't just be safe, you'll be Holland safe. Now this week we're going to start at Lake Belton, and when you look at Belton on a map, you'll see that it has 2 arms, a west arm and an east arm, separated by a very long, thin, rocky point right in the middle. That's where we're going to fish for largemouth and smallmouth. Start your day with topwaters along those rocks, and then transition to spinner baits and maybe a punch shed swim bait with a weighted belly hook or even a belly spinner to catch those largemouth and smallmouth. Be ready later in the day to transition to a crankbait that'll get down somewhere between 10 and 14 feet in a shad color or even a craw color on Belton. Now, over at Natchitoches, the crappie bite's on fire. You can actually catch them from the crappie house or the crappie dock. But if you'll go out to the road beds on Natchitoches and look out in about 12 to 18 feet of water, you'll find scads of crappie. Now, those road beds are very well defined, and there's timber along both sides. Fish over near one or the other side of the timber. You'll see them on your graph. Drop your minnows and jigs for your Natchitoches crappie. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
There's one. Oh, that's a better one. He's got some pull to him. Now he's kind of swimming at the boat. He's going to go under it. Good one, good one. Good red. Don't you get in those weeds. Don't you get in those weeds. Beautiful. Beautiful specimen. Right there. Get in my net. There we go. Oh, what a bright, beautiful orange looking fish that is. Yeah. Man, when they eat this jig, they are getting it good. Look where he got it, right in the corner of the mouth. I changed colors and it's making a difference right here. Down out of Galveston, Texas, down at Chocolate Bay, Hall's Bayou, catching those beautiful redfish specimen like that. Oh man, look at one big black dot right on his tail. Look at that, isn't that cool? Right on the edge of those weeds. All right, I told you that I would explain to you what I have figured out. It's taken me a few hours to figure it out. These fish are not relating to the structure. They're not relating to the cover. They're not relating to these reeds like I would think they normally would. They're relating to the drop-off. So all along this channel, this bayou that I've got working up in here, there is a very sharp drop-off. And I'm talking about, even though you really can't see it with your naked eye, the water goes from like 10 inches deep to 10 or 11 feet deep, real quick. Sometimes that drop-off, like right here, it's in here next to these reeds. But sometimes it's 10 or 15 yards out offshore. So what I'm having to do is watch my sonar up here on my Lowrance HDS Pro and I'm watching the depth, and I'm trying to keep my lure right on that drop off. I'm trying to cast it up on the 1 foot ledge and pull it off in that 10-foot water. And it seems like right when I pull it off of that ledge, that's when these fish are hitting it.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lake Hartwell Country. Catch the feeling. Lose, feel the difference. Mamba Boats, ride with pride. Strike King, tie one on. Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Right up against the reeds. He's going in there. Come out. Come out, darling. There's one right there. Whoa, right up against the reeds. He's going in there. Come out. Come out, darling. There now he's coming out. Come here. Come here. Now he's turned swimming at me. Stay on, baby. Stay on, baby. What have I got? Big old red. Big old redfish. Saw the boat. You saw my mamba, didn't you? Oh yeah. Woo, darling. Look at what we have done now, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Look here. Oh my goodness. Hall's BAYOU Chocolate Bay has produced a big one. That probably is not a keeper because it's probably over. That fish is pushing 29, 30 inches long, something like that. Look how fat this fish is too. That fish has been gorging itself. They feed on crabs, mullet, and shrimp in here. And I have literally visually with my eyes seen all three. I've seen crab swimming around top, big blue crab. I've seen shrimp floating around in the water, and there are mullet jumping everywhere. And these fish have got tons to eat. All right, I'm gonna do a little surgery on this fish right quick. Just give me a second. And there we go. There's what that fish hit. He tore that plastic up, but that brown, that chartreuse paddle tail did it. Easy, baby. Okay. Well, you come down to the Texas Gulf Coast. Fall is getting here. The water temperature is beginning to cool off a little bit. These fish are going to get a little more active as it cools even more. We need this water down in the 70s for it to get really good, and it's still not quite there yet. But let's go over here. We'll tail this fish a little bit. She'll be, oh yeah, she's just fine. Oh man, well, that's what can happen if you hang in here and hang in here. You catch you a great old big one like that. Yeah!
This is Matt Pangrak from the Bass Talk Live podcast, and this is your weekly Oklahoma fishing report. As the leaves begin to turn colors and the days become shorter, there's a really cool opportunity to catch some topwater smallmouth in Oklahoma, located in southern Oklahoma, 5,800 acres. Lake Murray is a clear water fishery that features both largemouth and smallmouth bass. Now, there's not a lot of big smallmouth in there. They top out at around 3.5 or 4 pounds, but what they lack in size, they make up for in quantity. This is a great time of the year to get those small topwater baits, 3 to 5 inch walking baits, and focus on main lake points early in the morning or later in the evening. Cast up shallow into 3 to 5 feet of water and work that bait back slowly. If you see fish surfacing, cast to those schooling fish. And if they're not committing to the top water, a small 3.5-inch swim bait on a 1/8 to 3/8 ounce ball head jig cast on a spinning rod and retrieve very steadily back will catch a lot of those smallmouth. You can also catch a bonus largemouth or even a walleye on that swim bait. Hey, if you're looking for more bass fishing information, not just in Oklahoma, but across the country, check out the Bass Talk Live podcast every Monday through Thursday at 8:30 a.m. on the Bass Talk Live YouTube channel and BassZone.com.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Glacier outdoors since 1982.
Look at that dude. I thought I had an alligator gar. I'm telling you, this is a wild place. Halls Bayou, Chocolate Bay. There's another one way out there off that ridge. I have no idea what this is. This could be one of those big old gar. I've been seeing 7-foot alligator gar all day long. No idea what this is. That fish was way out off the shore. That's a red. That's a redfish. I thought I had a gar. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I got him. Oh my. Well, you know what? That makes all three I've caught. Small ones, little rat reds. I've caught medium-sized, like 22, 23-inch reds. And then I've caught one that's probably an over right there. Look at that dude. I thought I had an alligator gar. I'm telling you, this is a wild place. Halls Bayou, Chocolate Bay, the whole system in here is just crazy. It's got big old redfish like that. It's got some speckled trout in it too. But what else it's got, in fact, let me release this fish. I probably need to tail her a little bit, although that fish didn't really fight that hard. There she goes. I do want to mention real quick my Mamba boat, because this is the first time I've actually had my Mamba bass and bay boat in salt water. You saw me do a show earlier this year on hybrid stripers in freshwater, but this is the first time I've done a saltwater episode of our show out of it, and I came out of retirement to fish in my retirement boat. I could have chosen any boat I wanted, and I chose this Mamba 227 bass and bay. It's got a bass boat cap all the way around it, so it's got a lip so my net, my tackle boxes, my rods won't slide off. But it's got a bay boat hull. It's a 3-step hull system that Jim and Jared Poole and Mamba Boats designed. There's nothing like it on the market, and you can get a smooth ride no matter if you're in calm water, light chop, or heavy seas. You can get a smooth ride on one of the 3 pads on the hull of this boat. It's got dry boxes that are actually dry. First boat I've ever run that doesn't get any water in any of the dry boxes. It's got shock absorbers under the seats behind the center console. It's got my Mercury 250 Pro XS hanging on the back. I've got power poles on it. I've got my Lowrance Ghost trolling motor rigged out with all my bass boat gear. It's got all my electronics, my Lowrance HDS Pro system. I've got my active targets on my Fishing Specialties pole on a mount right there that I can shoot my forward-facing sonar. It's got everything you could possibly want. We took 1.5 years to design this boat, and I was involved in it every step of the way. This is what we came up with. You can get much more detail at the Mamba Boats website, the address you see on your screen.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with this week's outdoor report for Let's Fish. I tell you what, had Travis Spicer and Holly here. Holly, we had a great little shoot this morning, didn't we?
Did, and it was a blast.
I'll tell you what, this time of the year, we're in September right now, it's teal season, but that also means the fishing is on fire. We're right here at Cajun Paradise Charters in Hackberry, Louisiana. Saltwater fishing is turned on. During the fall weather, you can ask Captain Travis, this time of the year, the fishing's phenomenal. You got birds starting to work over your trout, your redfish are going crazy in your shallow water, they're starting to school up. Offshore, we're starting to see a lot of cobia show up. I tell you what, still good snapper reports going on. On the freshwater side of things, I tell you what, talk to some guys up at Toledo Bend. This little bit of cooler weather's got the water temperatures coming down. The crappie are getting real active. They've been there all summer over your brush piles, but I tell you what, they're really starting to turn on and feed right now. Live shiners, 20 to 30 foot seems to be the best there. Also little tube jigs. Bass action, real good early and late right now. Like I said, the cooler weather. Biggest thing is this time of the year, enjoy the cooler weather. Get out there, whether it's hunting or fishing, and y'all have a great time.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pull. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right on over to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Mitch would like to know, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? For an answer, we asked 2020 and 2021 Bassmaster Classic champ Hank Cherry.
Hey, I'm Hank Cherry, Elite Series Pro. If you'd asked me when I was a kid, what did I want to do? Of course, fishing was probably number one on the list, but if I had to have a real job, not this make-believe profession, I was going to be some kind of police officer, law enforcement. So that's what you want to know. The intimidating, whatever you say I have, it was all preparing to be a cop, but now I'm a fisherman. It worked out pretty good.
Thank you so much, Hank. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, it's the right gear to make your fishing productive and comfortable. First of all, productive. We tried spinner baits and topwaters and those redfish wouldn't touch them. But when I downsized to a small, finesse, soft plastic swim bait, everything changed and we caught those fish. This is a very simple 1/8 ounce saltwater version of a lead jig head. Then we used a small 2.5 inch plastic swim bait. The one on your left is more the mullet color, like all those mullets swimming around in that bayou. The one on your right is more of a shrimp color. They both worked equally well. They caught all of our redfish today. And from the comfortable standpoint, you'll never see me fishing either here on the show or just for fun without my Academy Magellan fishing shoes. Academy makes an entire lineup of pro angler fishing clothing, shirts and shorts and hats, but I love their fishing shoes. They're comfortable, they're lightweight, they're breathable. I don't even wear socks with them. They keep my feet dry and well cushioned all day long when I'm fishing. Check them out at your local Academy store or academy.com. I hope you enjoyed our trip today to the Chocolate Bay and Halls Bayou Complex Fishery south of Galveston, Texas. If you'd like to go fishing there or anywhere in the Galveston area or offshore, you can contact my friends Greg and Gregory Verm at their guide website, the address you see on your screen. From Galveston, Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.